Jay-Z is under attack now.
We are in virgin territory here because I can't recall another time that there have been celebrities who are attacking Jay-Z.
Outraged.
Yeah, outraged at Jay-Z's new partnership with the NFL. We showed you, we told you that he had this meeting with Roger Goodell and with some members of the media, and it got very heated because we now have video from the meeting. And one person in particular, Charlemagne the God, really did not hold back, went after Jay-Z and asked a question that everybody was thinking.
Can I just say, before we do it, you got to remember, Jay-Z boycotted the Super Bowl halftime earlier this year, over Colin Kaepernick, over them basically banishing him from the NFL because of the kneeling. So with that, coming back is what kind of sets everything off.
Exactly, and what the elephant in the room was, has Jay-Z turned his back on Colin Kaepernick? Here's how Charlemagne put it to Jay.
I think the biggest issue people have is they want to know how you could partner with a league on social justice when Colin Kaepernick, who brought it to the attention of the masses by peacefully protesting against social injustices, is still out of a job.
Yeah, that's a great question. There's two parts of protesting. You go outside and you protest, and then the company or the individual say, I hear you. What do we do next? Like, everyone heard, and we hear what you're saying, and everybody know, I agree with what you're saying. So what are we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So reach millions and millions of people, or we get stuck on Colin not having a job.
So what he's saying is, you balance out helping a lot of people using the NFL as a device to do that, or helping Colin Kaepernick, and he's clearly here. And a lot of people think it's wrong.
And I also think that when Colin Kaepernick embarked on all of this, the idea was to spread awareness to some of the social injustices, to police brutality. And I think Jay-Z, it seems like to me, is now saying, hey, I have heard you, and now I'm in a position to actually do something about this, thanks to you bringing this all to light, and now we're going to help.
Well,
we're going to bring this back.
I think the language, and 1 second, Vanek, so we want to play one more clip from inside the meeting, because another journalist put it to Jay-Z, quite frankly, asked the question, again, related to Colin Kaepernick, about kneeling.
Sorry to put it this way, but would you kneel or would you stand?
Okay, I think we've passed kneeling. Yeah, I think it's time to go into actionable items. I know we're stuck on it because it's a real thing, but it's a form of protest. I support protests across the board. We need to bring light to the issue. I think everyone knows what the issue is, and we're done with that.
Wow, it's just watching Roger Goodell nod his head like that, just disgusting. Anyway, look, Jay-Z is right in terms of solving the problem is more important than anything else. But I think that something's missing here. And the part that's missing here is that this is another instance of a black man standing up for his culture, standing up for his people, and then having a large corporation cut his legs off. Cut his legs off and silence him, cut his legs off and deny him the opportunity to get back on the platform. This protest wasn't about the NFL. He wasn't protesting racism in the NFL. He was protesting things that were happening to people all over the country. And they, because of this, in my opinion, have effectively been able to turn the page on him. So while I understand that there are huge, huge issues that are going on, what I don't get is why people from Roc Nation weren't in contact with Colin Kaepernick when this was happening, knowing the ramifications of the announcement of the deal. And I also don't understand why he couldn't have been involved in this. Roger Goodell and the NFL owners wanted to move on from this. And there is not another black man in America with the capability to make the kneeling uncool better than Jay-Z could. Yeah. And that's essentially what they just did.
They did. So, and Jay-Z did it willingly. It wasn't like, he made a conscious decision. I mean, I think he knew the implications of it.
There's a cultural trust that I have for Jay-Z that this is going to end up bearing fruit that will be good. I think that people are going to go out and they're going to do their best. The players are going to have control of some of these protests. But I just think that there's also something here. So I do agree that, or I do believe in the work that they're going to do. You have to, and you have to want that work to work.
Because you also don't want to think that, I don't see Jay-Z as, like you said, you have a cultural trust in him. He's not going to, if he feels at any point he's being used, I think he'll walk.
Well, but a lot of people say he's being used right now because remember.
But he's got. If he doesn't get, if the NFL doesn't get,
did it bother
well,
you guys?
right.
Did it bother you guys that the beginning of this whole thing was about the halftime show and music?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, when the NFL talked, they talked about a music deal and a concert deal. That's what they talked about. Like when the questions started, that's when we started getting into the social justice aspect of this. Listen, I don't think that this is worth, or not that it's not worth. I don't think that this should result in some kind of cultural civil war where it's a Jay-Z faction and a Colin Kaepernick faction. I don't think it has to be that. But what I will say though, is that we have to protect one another, man. And if there's an injustice that's happening to one of us, especially one of us that put it on the line, I don't think that it should be so easy to partner up with the people that, in my opinion, perpetrated that injustice.
Well, and guess who just blasted, really, Jay-Z for this partnership? It's Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend, and she really laid it out. She said, how can Jay-Z and the NFL utter social justice in their partnership while keeping Colin unemployed because of his social justice work? She goes on. What is disgusting and disappointing is Jay-Z let them use him.
You know, and she said, don't tell me there's a master plan and wait for it, because the only reason anything would ever change is because the people are loud and clear and won't let the league buy their loyalty with their disingenuous moves. So she went after him. Also, Eric Reed, the NFL player who most famously stood by Colin and was also kneeling before games and continues to, I believe. And he said that, you know, these things are not mutually exclusive. You don't have to get the league to help millions and millions of people and also bury Colin's career. He says that he believes Jay-Z is helping the NFL bury Colin's career. So people being critical of Jay-Z like we have not heard ever before.
Hi, I'm Darielle Reed. I'm calling from Dallas, Texas. I just feel like people need to give Jay-Z a chance. He's always used this platform for good. He always has a few tricks up his sleeve, and I think that he could be a liaison to really initiate the tough conversations about our social issues in the community.
You got to see, too, it's got to be received by Roger Goodell. You got to see how that works, right?
Well, Van, you pointed out something. The way Roger Goodell was nodding when Jay-Z tried to push off it was.
Well, I mean, just to me, it's just
really
a little
bad.
bit gross. The 32 NFL owners hire Roger Goodell. He represents them. I don't, even that right there, man.
Right. And that's but therein lies the problem.